studying done or anything. It's a Friday night. Give yourself a break and go out and have some fun. That was my inner conscience talking. But did I listen? Nope. I just sat around stewing about it until I finally got up and walked down to the lounge area. There were a few people hanging out in there, which wasn't uncommon for my dorm on a Friday night. "Hey, Melissa," I said, sitting down next to her. I didn't really know Melissa all that well, but the few times we'd spoken she seemed nice. She was talking to Violet, a skunk shifter that I had English lit with last year. "Hi, Violet." "The answer is no," Melissa said. "What?" "I didn't ask anything. It's all over the dorm that you're on the hunt for someone to set up on a blind date. We barely know each other, but just to be clear, I'm not your girl." "Why? He's a great guy." "Not interested. I do not do blind dates, or dates at all, really. You're a beautiful young woman who should be out there playing the field and having fun." "Not going to work." I sighed. At least I tried. "Violet? Me? Oh no, I couldn't possibly. Come on, Violet, it'll be fun. It's at the really nice steakhouse in town, and he's paying." I couldn't possibly do that," she stuttered. "Sure you could, and I have no doubt he's a great guy and you'll enjoy the evening." "Hold up. You don't know this guy?" Melissa asked. "No, I'm helping his brother out." She laughed. "So this guy is such a loser that he has to have his brother ask a friend to set him up on a blind date?" "It's not like that. At least, I hoped it wasn't like that." "So if you don't know him, then why don't you just go?" she suggested. "Me?" I scoffed. "Yes, you, if he's such a great guy and all. But I don't even know him. That's why it's called a blind date." I growled in frustration. "Never mind." I got up in a huff and stormed back to my room. I couldn't possibly go on a blind date with Hudson's brother. That was absurd. Why was it even such a big deal? Didn't people go on blind dates all the time? I would think any one of those girls would be lucky to do this. I slunk down onto my bed. Why couldn't they just say yes for me? Why was I always the one compromising for everyone else? I decided that for once I was going to be defiant. I wasn't going to worry about other people's problems. I was going to just speak up and tell Hudson that it wasn't going to work. My friend found her true mate, and maybe that sucks for him and his brother, but it wasn't my problem. After a personal pep talk, I picked up my phone to text Hudson the news. But there was a new text from him already waiting for me. "Hudson, thanks for the hookup tomorrow. Holden's so excited. I can't wait to hear all about it." And just like that, my plan crumbled. "Why don't you just go?" Melissa's words echoed through my mind. I couldn't do it. Could I? I'd never been on a blind date before. I wouldn't even know what to do or say. What do you wear to something like that? How do you act? So many questions running through my head. The one thing I knew for sure was that Hudson was counting on me. I had roughly 20 hours. If I couldn't find someone to do this, then I would have to go. I had promised, and I couldn't let my friend down. But what if he really is a loser? Hudson was a decently attractive guy. If I didn't actually know him, I'd say he was pretty hot, even. He was only a sophomore, but was kind of a big deal on campus as the backup quarterback of the football team. Most girls would do absolutely anything to have a date with him, though I'd never even considered him as anything more than a friend. Hudson and I had a couple classes together. He had some learning struggles and had sought my help freshman year. Now he had to keep his grades up to stay on the football team, and his fraternity also frowned upon low grades. Pretty much everyone in class we'd had together this year would volunteer to study with him, but he was smart enough to know that most of them just wanted to know him for his star status around campus. I, on the other hand, could care less about sports, and I'd known him before all the fame kicked in. It wasn't my thing at all, and I wasn't easily impressed by any of it. Hudson sort of liked that about me. We worked well together, and I'd even helped him out in a few classes we didn't have together. Over the last year and a half, I like to think we'd grown to be actual friends. There was a lot more to him than just a jock with a handsome face. It was just that most people didn't take the time to truly get to know him. I knew he had a brother because he told me so when he asked me to help him set the guy up. It was a small school, and there was plenty of gossip, especially when it involved an all-star football player.